or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
You know? Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
TerenceCrawford and GervontaDavis have been at odds for a while, but we never truly anticipated how intense things could get. Until now.
At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147? Shit, if I tap that trend, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chance.
Fight week is nearly here for GervontaDavis as he wraps up training camp and prepares for his 31st fight and 29th knockout. Ahead of the bout, he and his opponent, Lamont Roach, participated in a behind-the-scenes press meeting, engaging in a roundtable interview in Brooklyn, New York, near the fight venue. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford has been in New York since Kasan.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these.
The fight took place on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, with Terence Crawford among the big names in attendance, alongside Claressa Shields and other top boxers. Since then, Crawford has remained in New York, planning to travel to Saudi Arabia to watch Shakur Stevenson take on Floyd Schofield. However, in a surprising turn of events, Crawford showed up at the press meeting between GervontaDavis and Lamont Roach. The situation quickly escalated into a brawl after Gervonta tanked. Davis confronted
he would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 50.
Crawford admitted to making the comments and even dared GervontaDavis to take action. However, before Davis could react, Crawford made the first move, shoving him before they were quickly pulled apart. But what exactly led to this latest feud? The 37-year-old Omaha native has accomplished more than most fighters dream of since turning pro in March 2008, capturing world titles in 4 weight divisions and becoming the undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight. Now, as he prepares for a massive showdown later this year against Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, Crawford has sent a strong message to a reigning world champion, one he believes is arrogant.
Outside, I will break your neck.
Speaking on the Cigar Talk podcast, Terence Crawford openly shared his feelings about WBA lightweight champion GervontaDavis, admitting he has a strong dislike for the 30-year-old from Baltimore. I just really don't like that dude. I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him, Crawford said. I just feel like he's one of those arrogant little dudes who uses what he has as a shield. He's always surrounded by security guards, you know what I mean? He's in the limelight, but in certain situations, he wouldn't act like that. When asked if he at least respects Davis as a fighter,
And he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Potential showdown between the two American stars seems unlikely anytime soon due to the significant weight gap between them. Crawford's last fight took place at 154 lbs in August, and his upcoming showdown against Canelo is set for 168 lbs. Meanwhile, the highest weight division Gervonta "Tank" Davis has competed in is super lightweight, though most of his success has come at lightweight. Davis remains an unsolved puzzle for his opponents, boasting an unblemished 30-0 record. He currently holds the WBA belt in a stacked lightweight division that is in desperate need of unification.
Into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens?
Vasyl Lomachenko currently holds the IBF title. Shakur Stevenson owns the WBC belt, and Kesan Davis recently claimed the WBO strap with a devastating body shot knockout against Dennis Baroni on Valentine's Day. Terence Crawford was in attendance to watch his training partner Davis secure the victory and later shared his thoughts with Fight Hype. According to Crawford, Gervonta "Tank" Davis wouldn't fare well against Kesan or Shakur. Tank knows what it is, he said. He knows what he's up against if he fights Shakur or Kesan. He wants to face guys that the whole world knows won't really challenge him.
Everybody in the world knows they ain't gonna give him no fight. They're not mentally there. You know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise.
Both Shakur Stevenson and Keeson Davis share a similar mindset regarding a potential showdown with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. In exclusive interviews with TalkSport.com over the past few weeks, they confidently expressed their views on how such a fight would play out. Keeson, brimming with confidence, even compared a matchup with Tank to the dominant performance TerenceCrawford delivered against Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 to claim the undisputed welterweight crown. "I see myself putting the same beating on Gervonta as Terence did on Spence," Keeson told TalkSport.com. "I feel like his style is perfect for mine. I'm young, and I don't think the fight will go the full 12 rounds. But if it does, I can go the distance."
Keep it up, that whole fight. And them two guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his...
"I have power, and I've knocked fighters out with one punch, but he's done it consistently," Keeson Davis admitted. "We all know Tank has that one-punch knockout ability, but people haven't seen everything I bring to the table yet. I've only had 12 fights, and I've only been competing at an elite level for 3. My next fight against Ivan Baranchyk will be my 4th at this level, so there are still a lot of unknowns. But trust me, I'm already better than what I've shown." Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has been chasing a fight with GervontaDavis for years, but it has yet to materialize. He remains unsure why it hasn't happened, but knows exactly who has the power to make it a reality.
Lamont Roach. Providing he comes through the fight unscathed, he is expected to fight one of the 3 champions next.
Yes.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
GervontaDavis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah. And the ball is in his court. I can't say I'm going to send him an offer. Turki Alalshik can. Turki has the money. I don't have the kind of money to send GervontaDavis a big enough offer, Stevenson said. "I don't know why the fight hasn't happened. He's a weird human being, and to be honest, I don't have much respect for him." Davis is set to return to action on March 1st in Brooklyn against WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he comes through the fight unscathed, he is expected to face one of the 3 reigning champions next.
The entire boxing royalty marked their presence at the London Ring Awards.
Lomachenko appears to be the front-runner for Gervonta Davis's next fight, as Davis's team had approached the Ukrainian last year. However, Lomachenko opted to take a break from the sport at the time. The ongoing feud between Davis and Crawford seems to stem from the Ring Magazine Awards in London this past January, where Davis was notably absent. The event brought together boxing's elite, but Davis, despite holding an undefeated 30-0 record with 28 knockouts, was missing. Reports suggest that his strained relationship with Riyadh Season and Turki Alalshik, who also owns Ring Magazine, may have played a role in the snub. Davis, apparently frustrated by the situation, took to his X account, formerly Twitter, to express his displeasure, though he later deleted the posts. However, TerenceCrawford seized the opportunity to mock him, fueling their ongoing rivalry. Crawford posted, "I see somebody mad they weren't invited to the Ring Magazine gala. I remember being left out too. That's why when they let me in, I crashed the party." Followed by laughing emojis. Before deleting his posts, Davis had questioned why certain fighters were invited while others were left out, taking shots at both Eddie Hearn and Turki Alalshik. He even criticized Alalshik, claiming, "They act like this guy is good for boxing when he knows nothing about it. If he was, why isn't he building up fighters from his own country?" The dispute escalated further when Davis boasted about his wealth, claiming he made more money than Crawford. Crawford fired back, saying, "The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is that he has more money. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy anything that I can't buy, facts." Davis responded with insults, further fueling the social media back and forth. Interestingly, Davis had previously shocked fans by announcing during the Lamont Roach press conference that he planned to retire by the end of 2025. Given that, some might question why missing an awards gala mattered to him so much. This isn't the first time Crawford has taken a jab at Davis. After his dominant win over Errol Spence Jr. to become undisputed, Crawford heard that Davis had claimed he could beat him at 147 lbs. Addressing it on The Breakfast Club, Crawford dismissed the notion, saying, "There are levels to this. If he comes up to 147 thinking he's just going to knock me out, he's got another thing coming." While a clash between Davis and Crawford seems unlikely, Crawford remains focused on one fight, the highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford and Gervonta "Tank" Davis are currently 3 weight divisions apart, but their careers have overlapped in the past. Crawford began his professional journey at lightweight, the division where Davis now reigns as a world champion. He went on to become the undisputed champion at super lightweight, a division in which Davis has also claimed a title. However, while Crawford has continued moving up in weight, clearing out the welterweight division and making his debut at 154 lbs last year, Davis remains at 135 lbs, where he holds the WBA world title and has been knocking out opponents with ease. Despite the size difference, Davis has previously claimed, perhaps jokingly, that he would knock Crawford out. The bigger man, however, has issued a clear warning: don't punch above your weight. While a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis is highly unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be a one-sided affair. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the matchup, suggesting it could be highly competitive if fought just below the welterweight limit. "That's a good damn fight," Jones said. "I don't see anybody around who's going to beat Bud unless it's someone way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight, you understand me?" Roy Jones Jr. further explained why a potential fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis could be interesting, highlighting Davis's explosiveness as a key factor. "They both have very high IQs and Tank is very explosive," Jones said. "That's the one thing Tank has that Errol Spence didn't. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go a lot of places. I was only able to cover the weights I did because I was so explosive. Explosiveness keeps people in check." Despite the speculation, the two American stars will continue their separate campaigns. Crawford is chasing a historic fight against super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez, which would require a 14-pound jump in weight. Meanwhile, Davis is set to face Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st at the Barclays Center. According to his latest press conference, he still plans to retire at the end of the year.
Prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
While the highly anticipated fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez seems set to take place this year, Gervonta "Tank" Davis has now inserted himself into the conversation. Reports suggest that Crawford and Canelo have agreed to a deal for a mega fight, bringing together two of boxing's best pound-for-pound fighters. The bout is believed to have come together after both men met separately with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh in London over the weekend, following a year of speculation and negotiations. While most of the boxing world is excited about the showdown, it appears that one of the sport's biggest stars, Davis, isn't particularly impressed.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about everyone?
With Gervonta Davis seemingly unimpressed by the Crawford versus Canelo fight, his coach Calvin Ford has also weighed in on the potential matchup. The debate over who would win between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to spark discussion as the fight would pit two pound-for-pound greats against each other. However, it would also require Crawford to make a significant jump in weight. Speaking with Fight Hype, Davis's trainer, Calvin Ford, shared his thoughts on the bout and appeared to be leaning toward the Mexican superstar.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
Calvin Ford, GervontaDavis's trainer, gave his take on the potential Crawford versus Canelo matchup, showing respect for the Mexican champion. Canelo is the king. Whatever he says, you know what I'm saying? Canelo is the king. It's a good fight, and I'd like to see it and the outcome of it. Canelo has been making some good moves for his fights, Ford stated. He also discussed Terence Crawford's performance in his last fight at 154 lbs against Israel Madrimov, where Crawford secured a victory but couldn't get the stoppage. It was his first fight at that weight. You can't say he didn't carry the power up there. He had to make adjustments. It's like when Benavidez went up in weight. It's all about making adjustments. I hope Terence Crawford gets another fight at that weight, so he can show the world it's there. If it's not, then we can start questioning, Ford added.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say, I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
And that's all for now. For the latest updates on boxing news, moments, events, and action, stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.